Hey, welcome back to the channel. Thanks for joining. So this is another one of my spine surgery post-op updates. This is the 1-month update since I had my spine surgery. And just as a reminder, I had spinal laminectomy on 3 levels, L2 through L5, with a fusion where they screw the rods in as well to stabilize your spine. Again, it's been 1 month. I think things are going really, really well. I think I'm healing well. And, basically I can walk around now without a walker, without a cane or anything like that. I'm trying to walk more and more every day. I'm generally walking between half a mile and 3/4 of a mile. It's starting to get cold outside, so if I don't do it outside, I have a treadmill downstairs. And of course, you got to be careful. Don't put it too fast, because if you have it too fast and you look down or you trip or something, then you could be in big trouble. So you really have to pay attention a lot more than if you're using a treadmill, before surgery. So in any event, things seem to be going really well. I'm actually back at work, working from home, and that's fine. I'm sitting in actually this chair that I'm sitting in now, and it seems to be working well. If I sit in the chair too long, more than say half an hour, 45 minutes, I start to get a little stiff, and I have to stand up, walk around. Sometimes I even have to lie down, a couple times a day for 10 minutes maybe, just to kind of take the pressure off my back. And what hurts is, basically, I knock on wood, I don't think it's hurting in the actual spine. I think things are working really well there. It's the back, the lower back muscles still are really stiff, and I get a little pain from there sometimes. And they have to bisect those muscles and open them up to get to the spine. So it takes a long time for that to heal. I was told between 1 and 2 months. So it's not out of the ordinary. It seems that sometimes my back feels really good one day, and maybe if I overdo it, the next day it feels a little more sore. So that's okay. It's to be expected. I'm off all meds at this point. I don't take anything, not even Tylenol. I suppose I could if I needed to, but I'm in pretty good shape. One thing that's a little uncomfortable, sometimes at night, especially the past few nights, maybe after an hour after I go to bed, I have this really uncomfortable feeling in my back and legs. And it's not pain. It's more, I don't know if people get restless leg syndrome. I don't think that's what it is, but it might be similar throughout the area. It might be the nerves kind of getting used to post-surgery. I don't know, but again, sometimes it feels really uncomfortable. I tried back when, maybe a week and a half ago, I tried taking Tylenol at night, and it really didn't seem to do that much, really didn't seem to make that much of a difference. I even tried taking a Flexeril, the muscle relaxer at night. That didn't seem to make a difference either. So I had PT yesterday. I have a home physical therapist that has been coming. Yesterday was actually my last day with that. And she recommended maybe taking a gabapentin, which I was prescribed, and I took at the very beginning. I haven't taken them since. But, I might try that one night just to see if that makes a difference. Gabapentin relieves nerve pain, and she said it might be nerve pain or, something in the nerves that's causing that. So I may try that and see what happens. But again, what I'm getting, the only really, post-op problem, and it's not a problem, this is just part of the healing process, is that lower back muscle healing, still a little pain and tightness. So that's about it. I'm really glad that I had this surgery. By the way, I'm not a medical professional. All my opinions are my own, and they are based on my situation. Everybody is different. But in any event, I'm really glad I had this surgery. A lot of the doctors I was talking to, the pain doctor, and even a couple of the surgeons that I saw before I went to my, the surgeon I actually decided on to do the surgery, they said, wait till the last minute. You shouldn't get the surgery unless you absolutely need it. Try to get the pain shots and all that. And I was listening for a while, but basically in my situation, I couldn't stand too long because of the stenosis, or walk too far. I couldn't even stand up long enough to brush my teeth or take a shower. And then all of a sudden I'd start to get really, really bad pain, and my legs would start to, my right foot would start to tingle and my legs would start to disconnect. I don't think there was any permanent damage because when I sat down, it relieved it all totally. So I went ahead and had the surgery, and I'm glad I did because even my doctor said that in the L2 area, when he was doing that, the stenosis was a little worse than he thought than it looked on the MRI. And because of that, when they have to, try to separate the spinal cord, it was a little stuck because the stenosis had kind of encroached on it. So when he kind of pulled it apart, there was a little leak. But again, that is a possible negative outcome. But he fixed it immediately. So it's not like there's any permanent damage or anything. He quickly sealed it and pressure tested it, I guess. And it seemed to be absolutely fine, and I've had no problems. I didn't even have any of the symptoms that are sometimes associated with that kind of a leak. It was totally great. But again, the point is, if I'd waited even longer, that stenosis might have gotten worse, and maybe it would have created some kind of permanent damage, nerve damage. So again, in my case, my opinion and my situation only, I'm glad I had the surgeon, didn't wait longer. And in my case, again, the other good outcome from getting it now instead of waiting 5 or 10 years is that I'm younger. And when you're younger, you can heal a lot quicker. And you're more resilient. I can do my exercises a lot quicker. So again, that's what happened in my case. Now, I have my first appointment with the surgeon in a couple weeks. It's the 6-week post-op with the surgeon. And when I go there, I get an x-ray. And actually, it's going to be a little more than 6 weeks. It might be 7 by the time I finally get there. But in any event, he will be able to look at the x-ray and make sure that the fusion took and that I'm healing well. And I think it did because, again, I'm feeling really good. I'm still not driving yet. I've ridden in a car a few times with my wife, and if I'm there for longer than 10 or 15 minutes, my back gets a little stiff. So again, that'll get better. But in any event, when I go to the surgeon appointment in a couple weeks, I'll have a lot of questions. He'll tell me not only how I'm healing, but also what restrictions will be lifted. Of course, right now you can't bend, twist, or lift anything heavy more than 10 pounds. But I've been told that after the 6-week appointment, if everything looks good, you can start to do a lot more. And I'm going to have a lot of questions specifically about what I'll be able to do at the gym, what types of exercises I'll be able to do post 6 weeks. And I'm thinking there are a lot of exercises that I do at the gym, that I did at the gym, that don't involve the spine. I used to, for example, do military presses when I'm standing up, and it probably puts pressure on the spine. So that I probably won't be able to do. But bench press, for example, when I was starting to have the problems because of stenosis, instead of using the bench, I was using a seated bench press where you're sitting down and you're just pushing, you're pushing the machine forward, and it's the same motion, but you don't have to get down and up from the bench. And just thinking about it, I don't think it's putting any pressure on the spine. So that's an example. I'll ask him if I can do that, if I can do lat pull downs. And I'll have a whole list of exercises that I'll ask him about. And hopefully I'll be able to again start getting back at the gym, building up my core strength again. Hopefully I didn't lose that much. But in any event, that's what I'm looking forward to. Also, I've been using a bone growth stimulator. It's a little electronic device, and you put two probes on your back, and then you hook it up to this little electronic device, and it supposedly there's an electrical impulse that stimulates bone growth. And, hopefully that also helped to get things going. And, I think it did. I have no reason to think that it's not working. One thing about the bone growth stimulator, though, it's very expensive. It's paid for by insurance, but still, it's very expensive. I mean, I'm guessing, between $2,500 and $3,000 for this thing. And looking at the little electronic device, it looks really cheap. Some electronic devices are really expensive and, they look like really high quality. This thing looks like a really cheap electronic device, something that may cost $10 or $15, and I don't know what it costs to make. But in any event, because it's a prescription device, that's what, allows it to be such an expensive deal where they can charge a lot. And of course, when I first got it, there was an in-person person that came, in person to the house and explained how it worked and all that. And that's probably part of the expensive cost of this thing. And then you get lifetime, supplies. They ship them for free. But the other thing is, because it's prescription, the life of this is supposedly only about 9 months. And you only need to wear it, I think, 3 months, maybe 4 months, something like that. But, the life of this device is supposedly only 9 months. So the lifetime supplies would probably be only 9 months. And also they said if you're going to need it longer than that, they may have to give you another one. So that's probably another charge to the insurance company. So again, it seems like really expensive, again, paid for by the insurance company for most people, probably similar to hearing aids. Hearing aids, in the past, you had to go through an audiologist, and of course, it was very expensive. You had to buy it through the audiologist. But in the past few years, I think it was 2018, 2019, they basically passed a rule, the federal government, that you could get these over the counter. And the price of hearing aids has gone through, really low. I mean, instead of $3,000 to $5,000, they're, I think you can get some for under $1,000 and $1,500, even through Costco. I think it's $1,500. But again, this is a similar, I'm making that example because this bone growth stimulator seems like a very cheaply made electronic device, but very expensive because of the fact that it's prescription and so forth. I think that's everything I wanted to go over today. That's it for the 1 month update. Again, I'm doing very well, working from home now, walking 1/2 to 3/4 miles a day. The lower back muscles are what are kind of holding me back from being normal. Going for my surgeon appointment in a few weeks to see what restrictions will be lifted. So that's it. Thanks for tuning in. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to my channel, hit the notification bell, and like this video. Would appreciate that very much. So until next time, we'll see you later. Take care.